Thank you, David. Another great report. Eric Egland is a veteran of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars. Eli Pariser is Executive Director of the anti-war group MoveOn.org. Eric Egland, what is wrong with the ad? General Petraeus, what's wrong with that ad?
Hi, Chris. MoveOn.org has every right to put that ad, but the substance of that ad, that's a preemptive character smear, not only against General Petraeus before he gives his report, but against all 500,000 U.S. troops who have served in Iraq, because General Petraeus is reporting the information that they've observed on the battlefield. So it's free speech. I'm all for people putting whatever ad they want to put, but they should be able to be willing to accept the criticism that comes from people who don't like groups that smear our military with these kind of preemptive character attacks.
So you're saying he's smearing, you're saying it. You're saying the ad smears the military.
You bet.
Well, you said so. What do you think, Eli? Are you smearing the military?
No. MoveOn has lots of members who are Iraq veterans and military families who are sick and tired of the president leaving their sons and daughters in the middle of a war without any exit strategy. And, we're not against the troops. We're against the lies. That's what this is about. There were lies that got us into this war and the lies that are continuing to keep us in this war. And unfortunately, General Petraeus has tangled himself up in a political operation in the White House and has become the front man for these misleading statements that he's been giving Washington, D.C. And it's not pleasant, and we know we're going to take some knocks for it, but someone has to call out a general when he is testifying in front of the Congress and deliberately misleading the public.
All right.
Chris, I mean, come on. They put this ad before General Petraeus even said word one. They can't have it both ways. They're making a policy argument, but the ad is a character smear directly attacking someone's patriotism, saying that a general reporting before Congress is going to betray his country. It reflects the pure, raw hypocrisy of some of these far-left groups who anytime they're criticized, say, oh, you're attacking my patriotism. But when it suits their political agenda, the first thing they do is not debate policy, not debate facts, but to go after a preemptive character smear like this and attack patriotism of anyone they choose. I think it exposes that hypocrisy.
It wasn't a character smear. What this was we had a general who was going before Congress and was deliberately misleading the Congress, and we knew that well before because he was citing statistics days in advance that we knew were not true. Now, that's a problem. Now, you can debate whether the tone of the ad was right or not, but I think the bigger issue here is not the tone of the ad. It's the fact that we are in a war that the president wants to make a 10-year commitment to, and that he's putting a general forward and politicizing the top ranks of the military in order to continue. And that is a problem, and most of the public does not support that.
It's so offensive to have it described as politicizing the top ranks of the military. I mean, that you've got to focus on the facts that General Petraeus puts forth,
right,
that has not been part of that. No, it hasn't.
No one has
General Petraeus is a direct attack on his patriotism and his willingness to be honest.
Is it appropriate, Eric, to use a general in the field to defend a policy?
Look, General Petraeus
is it appropriate to use a general in the field to defend a policy?
Anybody. General Petraeus was reporting to Congress per the law that everyone agreed to. So to say he's being used, Chris, you're framing it in a way that undermines his credibility.
He came out and defended a policy. No, didn't he defend the policy of the president's?
No, the president said, hey, we need a new strategy, which I agreed. Heck, I wrote a book about that we had a wrong strategy in Iraq. The Senate unanimously confirmed the new strategy, and he's reporting on the progress of that strategy. Let him speak, and then have a healthy debate. I'm all for that. But what really concerns me is that the leading Democrat presidential candidates are so beholden to these far-left groups that they won't even speak up in support and defense of the integrity of the 500,000 troops who've been there.
My problem with the ad is it says betray us, and I've grown up in this country and know that the word traitor is a bad word.
That's right.
And betray us is awful close to traitor, Eli. That's the problem that a lot of people have with this ad. Not that he's wrong, not that he's misused, but you're calling him a traitor.
Well, I think it is a betrayal of trust when a general goes before the public and does that. That's what the ad said. And, reasonable people can disagree about that headline. But at the end of the day, I don't think Eric or anyone else was going to stand up and say the general is misleading us. And this is a problem. And that the White House had coordinated with General Petraeus as a part of a political strategy to sell the surge. And so if our ad got attention for that point, that was our purpose here.
Okay, thank you very much, Eric Egland and Eli Pariser. Coming up, presidential candidate Mike Huckabee. You're watching Hardball, only on MSNBC.